This was Torino's third match under new coach Franco Scolio. They'd taken 4 points from a possible 6 in their first 2 games. Torino were unfortunate they didn't take the lead through Riccitelli, who appears to be back to his best since the professor's arrival. Sadly, his best wasn't quite good enough on this occasion. Cremonese had won their 2 previous home games, and one Jean de Badji scored on 65 minutes. They were on course for win number 3. It was the midfielder's first Serie A goal since May 1994. However, Torino preserved their unbeaten start under their new coach, and with only 11 minutes remaining, Abedi Pele got the final touch to level the scores. It must have been hard on Jean de Badji, whose attempted clearance gifted Torino a much-needed point. A warm welcome was reserved for Trapattoni at the San Siro by Roy Hodgson in particular. Some years have passed now since Trapp left Inter, who last won the Scudetto under the current Cagliari coach. Inter's current leading scorer, Maurizio Gans, put the home side ahead 13 minutes in. Gans has now scored 4 times in the last 5 Serie A fixtures. Cagliari were unbeaten in 5 league games, indeed having won 4 times in that sequence. They really should have drawn level here through Ferricano. Inter had Pagliuca to thank for keeping them in front. They were then grateful to Marco Branca, who doubled the home side's advantage midway through the first half. Fresi made the break from midfield. Branca made the scoreline 2-0. 5 minutes later, Branca claimed his second goal and Inter's third. Bergami and Gans combined to set up the former Cagliari striker, who hadn't found the target in 4 Serie A games. It's good to see Paulins join in the celebrations in a match marred by the unsavoury side to the England midfielder's makeup. It wasn't good to see Ince get himself sent off just short of the hour mark. Having been given the runaround by the Cagliari players, Ince eventually caught up with Marco Sanna. Any later in his tackle would have happened the following day. Perhaps Sanna was hard done by. The Sardinian also received the red card. Ince's reaction suggests the referee had lost his mind. It certainly appeared Valerio Fiori had lost his when he missed the ball, allowing Branca to claim a hat-trick. Clearly disorientated, Fiori claimed Branca had used his hand to control the ball. There was no question of that, as Inter secured a handsome victory after 2 successive defeats. The match ended as it began, with both coaches locked together. Although their away form has left a lot to be desired, Juventus have enjoyed an outstanding home record this season. Led by their skipper, Gianluca Vialli, the Turin club hadn't lost at the Delle Alpi Stadium in Serie A since May, when Lazio came away with maximum points. This time it was Lazio city rivals Roma who put one over Marcello Lippi's side. The swerve under Biagio's powerful shot deceived Peruzzi, and Abel Balbo was on hand to put the visitors ahead on the stroke of half-time. The Argentinian got his name on the score sheet for only the 4th time in Serie A this season. Early in the second half, it looked as though the champions were clawing their way back into the game, especially after Marco Lana was sent off for 2 cautionable offences. His first was on Ravanelli, his second on former Sampdoria teammate Gianluca Vialli. The Italian international should really have known better. Both challenges were clumsy and unprofessional. Roma were reduced to 10 men with 35 minutes left to play. Marcello Lippi increased his attacking options by bringing on Lombardo for the winger's first Serie A appearance in a Juve jersey, but to little effect. Roma extended their lead courtesy of an own goal by the usually dependable Ciro Ferrara. It seemed Peruzzi had Capioli's cross covered before Ferrara's aberration. The look of disbelief on their faces was nothing compared to Ravanelli's reaction following the instant coming up. The Italian international was put through by Paulo Sousa, but was denied a goal by Roma's giant keeper, Giovanni Cervoni. Things are looking up for Roma, who have now lost just once in 11 league games. After a disappointing spell, Lazio rediscovered their touch in front of goal against Sampdoria a week before this game. To add to the 6 they put past the Genoa club, Lazio claimed another 5 against Atalanta. The first was scored by Aaron Vinter. Lazio's second came by the penalty spot. A swift counter-attack saw Alan Boksic released by Signori, and just as the Croatian thought he was about to claim his first goal of the season, Ferron checked his progress. Signori earned a round of applause after converting the spot kick 2 minutes before the interval. The club captain returned the compliment. Atalanta also managed a goal. Here it is, scored by Sandro Tovaglieri. Who else? He now has 6 Serie A goals, and they've all come in the last 7 games. Lazio restored their 2-goal cushion just a minute later. Alan Boksic finally scored his first goal of the season, and it was certainly worth waiting for. It was now 3-1. Goal number 4 soon followed. Montero hauled down Signori, who was given a second opportunity to score from the penalty spot. He duly obliged to take his tally for the season to 9. Winter matched Signori by claiming his second goal of the match too. The Dutchman's 6th of the season made the final score 5-1. Atalanta have now lost 3 in a row in Serie A. In the meantime, Lazio's season is back on track. Even at this early stage, Padova and Piacenza are fighting to preserve their top-flight status. It was Padova who missed the chance to take the lead through Longhi from short range, but managed to hit the front from long range. Gabrielli's first goal of the season will be one he'll remember for some time. The fullback doesn't get his name on the score sheet too often. When he does, they tend to take your breath away. In the second half, Piacenza fought back and equalised through Gianpietro Piavani. Concerned by the presence of 9-goal striker Nicola Caccia, the Padova defenders allowed Piavani to arrive unchallenged. His header earned his side a precious point. Parma's fans were clearly expecting a win at home to Vicenza, who'd won just 3 points on their travels this season. Parma almost took the lead through Dino Baggio here. Mondini did well to keep the ball out. He did even better moments later. Dino Baggio was again involved. This time it was Alessandro Melli who was denied by the Vicenza goalkeeper, and the away side escaped once again. Vicenza surprisingly claimed the only goal of the game after 57 minutes. Roberto Mugita got free of his markers to head past Parma's teenage keeper, Gianluigi Buffon. It's hardly the type of defending you'd expect from a side with title ambitions. Parma were heading for their first league defeat in 3 months. And the home side should have been given the opportunity to earn a draw from the penalty spot. Dino Baggio was clearly impeded by the Vicenza defender, but the referee inexplicably decided no infringement had taken place. Melli had the last chance to save Parma's unbeaten home record. His header struck the crossbar. Vicenza's keeper struck the post, and the ball stayed out. Parma have now won just 1 of their last 6 league matches. Eugenio Fascetti is yet to taste a victory as Bari's new coach. Having taken 1 point from the first 2 games, Fascetti struck it third time lucky. But it was Udinese who opened the scoring from the penalty spot through Giovanni Beer after 18 minutes. Bari drew level early in the second half. Gautieri set up Kenneth Anderson, who must be congratulated for his excellent finish. His compatriot Klaus Ingersson saw to that. The Swedish international crowned a fine performance by scoring his second, a goal which earned Bari their first win for 2 months. Udinese, meanwhile, were beaten at home in a league fixture for the first time in a year. It ended 2-1. Sampdoria have yet to see the best of Clarence Seedorf since his £3 million move from Ajax. At least he made a telling contribution in this game. Deep in stoppage time at the end of the first half, the Dutchman delivered a shot which was deflected into his own net by Andre Cruz, and Sampdoria had the lead at the break. I'm sure Seedorf would love to claim what would have been only his second Serie A goal, but the replay shows the ball came off Napoli's Brazilian sweeper. 3 minutes into the second half, the home side extended their lead to Enrico Chiesa, who's now scored 8 goals in his last 4 games. It was Belleri who supplied the cross, which was poorly defended by Napoli's players. Chiesa just got enough on the ball to steer it wide of Tagliatella. Napoli immediately brought on young striker Arturo Di Napoli. Within 5 minutes, he pulled his shot wide of Pagotto and pulled his team back into this game. The 21-year-old is currently on loan from Inter and hasn't featured too often in Boscov's plans. Perhaps he will now after scoring his first ever Serie A goal. Vojvodin Boskov was delighted by Napoli's second-half display against a side he took to the Scudetto in 1991. Another former Sampdoria favourite, Renato Busso, earned Napoli a late equaliser. It was Napoli's 6th draw in 8 games. So it's still just 1 point separating Milan and Fiorentina at the top. Despite their defeat, Parma stay in 3rd place, but Lazio are now only 2 points behind Nevio Scala's side. Roma's victory over Juventus puts them level with the champions. In the bottom half, only 2 clubs registered victories in week 15. Vicenza's excellent result in Parma has enabled them to move alongside Napoli in Cagliari, while Bari's first away win of the season has given the southern club renewed hope of staying up. In the scoring charts, both Igor Proti and Batistuta failed to find the target for the weekend, while Signori's moved up to within 1 goal of the leading pair. The Lazio skipper joins Bierhoff and Catcher on 9. Chiesa moves to 8 alongside Vialli. And we'll leave you with the 2 teams currently leading Serie A at the Christmas break. Will Fiorentina and Milan maintain their challenge in 1996? From all of us here on the Italian football team, Happy New Year.